Coachfos Teamscouts, and today I'm going to take you through a program that we've been using at the Townsville Fire called Fulcrum Technologies Angles. We're also using Piston this year, and some of the social media that I've put out just recently showing our setup and what we've got. It's working quite well. The biggest thing I think with Fulcrum is that it can be used in many different sports, and it's very similar to other products that I suppose are out there in the market. It's just a different look and different feel to it. I was and still do use a little bit of Huddle Sports Code, and I use a couple other companies, but I can tell you now I've found Fulcrum and Angles to be very reliable in both a game situation, in-game, post-game, and also in a remote fashion as well. So firstly, just going to give you some basics on Angles. So this is the workspace that you see when you open it up, and as you can tell at the top, you can reduce the occupancy of it quite easily. Volume of what's been recorded. You've got a contents folder which has a number of different things, and obviously you can see fire training stuff in there. And we've got what we call markups, which are your previously like a code window or a breakdown window as such. If you've got there's only one license, and you can capture with it. So you can use a UTAP device to capture anything from a camera, just like you can in other software. Now, I was a big Huddle Sports Code user for about 6 years, and I went across into this product as well, and I've found this a hell of a lot easier to operate and to use. You can see here there's a number of what they call super tabs, different layouts that you can have to suit whatever you need, and in each of these you can put a variety of different things, timelines to pictures to the movie to a composer, which is like a playlist, and develop that. You can see up here you got movie timeline, so you can just create a straight super tab for a movie timeline if you wanted to. Drop in your XML into here, or just drop in your file. Now it does say drop in file, and that's exactly what you can do. You can grab it from the desktop and you can put it straight, drop it over the top, and in it'll go. So easy, so quick to use. A little bit of an example to that. I'm just going to grab a bit of footage from another folder, actually off my USB, and I'm going to drop it straight in there. I'm going to create a new angle, and in it goes. As you can see, obviously it's downloading, and it's going into there. All I need to do now is link that up, and now the timeline will run with the video, as you can see clearly there. Obviously you can change the name of it as well if you wish to, and you can also change this, and also at the top as well in your inspector over here. So as you can see, you can have a number of different things. You can have a composer over here, and you can have in your contents. Basically, you can have anything you want. If we look at, I'm just going to show you a master window that I would use. As you can see, I've already got it slide across into here, and there's a master window clearly ready to go. I've got some buttons clearly here, and when you open them up, you can see that you've got a clip qualifier, which is like a label button an attribute button we can attribute to certain things. None, which means it's a no clip or a timer clip. But just the basics, if you just wanted to clip something, you can have time down and time up. I've got nothing in there because when I click on B over here, it'll go down. If I want to change that, go back -2, and it'll be exactly the same as that other one. If I wanted to, those buttons, so when I press the Opals button or I press the Japan button to go down, you'll see down here action buttons clearly marked. So in the action buttons, it allows you to down up or down down, meaning push the button down. So when you push the button, press the button down, it'll put Japan up. Opposite to that, if I want push the button down, it'll basically take the button off the Opals. There's a lot of little different little names, categories, what you want the category to look like in your matrix, and how it sort of all looks in relation to that. You can resize all these. You can add a new button in a different size, color, whatever you need. You can have a look at where the actions are. So what's been switched off, what's been switched on, can be easily looked at on the screen and see what your workflows are. You can share this, so I can click it and I can share it by Dropbox, by messages, by mail, or Dropbox transfer. I can share this window with anyone. A couple of good features that I like about it, very much so, is that the button workflow. So I can add a button workflow. So what can happen is every time I do a clip on the Opals, I want a clip to go to Composer when it goes up. So once the button comes up or off, in that case, I can then, if I've got a Composer up, so if I had a Composer up here, when I'm clipping a movie, I can do that very easily. So whilst I'm doing that, so you know, it's quite easy to do once you've got everything in play, and you set it up. Most times, currently, you know, we look at it and you can set it up in many different ways. So if we're doing a movie, I've got movie timeline. Well, I might not want a movie timeline, so I'm going to close that off. And I want one of these so I can set it up how I would normally do. So I've already got a timeline done for a fire training. I can just slide that across. I can just slide that in to the video. I just need to link it up so it's all linked together. And then I might want to do a practice. So, or I might want to clip it in my master window. I drop that in there. I click on markup, go to the beginning of it. So when I start playing it for training, I can then look at it. Just going to go back. Very easy. So you can have a look at that. You know, if we're looking at a game or anything to that effect, we can have a look at that quite easily. But basically, the way it's sort of all set out here allows you to cut anything you need, and that clip, once it's cut, will go to the Composer here very easily into there, and then that can start your playlist for that. We use it in a different way during games. I have instant buttons for the offense and defense, and at the end of the game, I will have a composer that'll have all the offensive possessions for the opposition and all offensive possessions for the us, and any other instances I require will be all in that composer. I'll also have a timeline as well with it. I have a timeline here as well, so I can flick between the two. If I just want to add a pane, so I want to add a pane, split a pane to the right, I split that pane and then I can put a timeline in there that goes with the video that I've put into here. Okay, so very easily done. Round 2, can drop that in there. I can put that in here. I link that together, so obviously it's all nicely linked. And then, as you can see, I have a turnovers already done, but I can then click that in and do that. If I was to coding the game, easy code the game with the markup window being here, and away you go with the markup, clip away and go from there. You can go back on each of these possessions, and if you need to, I'll go back to the beginning. Let's get to the beginning here. On game. So in the possessions, I can just tab to that possession, watch it, and if I've got my window open, I can sit here and code that. I can put some labels in there. I can do what I need to do for the home game. If I've got a different window that I use, I can then use that to clip. As you can see, it's going to the next clip. Now, as you can see, in each of these clips, obviously there's a small category in there. If I was to click on just that globe, it shows to me that there's been a paint touch and the shot result is a 2-point make at 56 seconds. As I click on them, it takes me to that point. If I click on that row there, it's going to click through to each of those possessions. Quite easy. Okay. You can search for various things if you need to. Totally up to you. But you can filter and you can say, well, I want to have a look at the 2 points. Miss. And it'll take out, as you can see, it's gone through and taken out all the 2-point miss in relation to that. They will be in there. If I want to, I can grab them. And if I go Option Command B, I can drop them all across into my O possessions, and there they are. Go through all of them, and all those clips are there. So you can search for stuff through your clips, number of different things. I can change up these clips to for a color, so I can say all the color for the O possessions topics. I can make different colors for them if I want to, but other than that, really easy to do during a game. The clip to composer is really helpful. It really is helpful. It allows you to have your composer there, get it all into what you need, and as you're clipping through, it's already starting to sort it all through into what you need. So if you've got, let's say turnovers, tackles, whatever it might be, and it's an instant, so it's actually clipping that piece of passage of play, it can be put into here. It's only for clips, so it has to be a full, like an instant or a clip, as they call it in angles. But it's a really good product, very easy to use, and as I said, it takes a bit to get used to, especially when I moved from different products. It's taken me a little while to get used to, but a couple of years in, and I've been using it now, and it's been really, really good to use. It's efficient. Even doing a remote code, quite easy and stable, and really, really effective. There's a lot of other little things. Fulcrum Technologies has got a great little website and a lot of little videos in relation to that, and they've also got a YouTube page linking that with Rex Proctor, who goes through all these features and probably some more features in regards to multiple angles, multiple camera angles that you can get coming in. I think recently they've had up to 10 or 15 camera angles coming in, so it's really, really cool how you can get a lot of different things. You can see, you can just show qualifiers and pop-ups in the row, so if anything's in that row. But it's a really great little product, well worth looking at if you're looking for something that's going to be, you don't really need to draw, then this is something that, well, you might be looking at. But I can tell you now, you can actually draw with this product. It's very easy. I'm using it to draw circles and put names in relation to highlights that I do. So you know, it's a really good product. Yeah, try it out. I hope you get a little bit of an insight into it. And thanks for watching.